What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Pastor D back at it with another video. Hey, let's get into it. This is what I like to call traffic edition. I'm currently sitting in traffic, but hey, you know what? One thing I learned about being in traffic other than patience, and I'll get into that. You never know why you're in traffic. You never know what's going on. It could be an accident. It could be anything going on that's out of your control. So when you're in traffic, you know, instead of getting angry, instead of getting mad, instead of getting upset, just simply pray. Pray that everything is all good on the road. Pray that there's no accidents, that there's no lives being taken, that there is nothing seriously wrong going on the road. They may simply be working on the road. You just never know. But instead of letting yourself get angry, like I said again, hey, just simply say a prayer. But let's get into it.
Walk it like I talk it, yeah, I walk it. Yeah. Flowers never grow without some water.
You know, it's Saturday here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm currently sitting in traffic, just leaving a class that I was taking. You know, one thing I will say about traffic, if you ain't got patience, traffic and being in traffic will teach you how to have patience. It will teach you how to have so much patience. I want y'all to do me a solid, and I want y'all to comment below. Tell me some ways that y'all actually get through traffic. I'm talking about heavy traffic, bumper to bumper traffic. And are you a patient driver when it comes to traffic? Are you trying to find ways to, you know, get all the way up ahead or to get around as many cars as you can? Let me know in the comments below. But like I said, it's Saturday here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm having an amazing day, an amazing weekend at that. It's hot out here. It's about 75 degrees. The weather kind of, you know, been up and down. Been cold, then hot, then kind of warm, but it's hot again. But I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying, you know, just, you know, my past couple days today. And one thing I will say, you know, I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful to God for, you know, everything that he's doing in my life. You know, I talk a lot about, you know, and embracing, you know, life, you know, as it comes your way. You know, that's one thing we're not in control of. We are not in control of life. The most we can do is adjust, embrace, respect life. And that's a big one. And what do I mean by respecting life? You know, respect what it is that God is doing. Respect how it is that God is moving. You know, respect, you know, the steps that God has you taken. Respect the plan of God. Respect it. Learn to love it. You know, learn to enjoy it. Learn to find the good in it. It's easy for us, you know, in everything that we go through to find the bad. It's easy for us to find, you know, the negative things to say or to complain about or to murmur about. It's easy for us to do those things. But one of the hardest things to do is, and I don't want to say the hardest thing to do because I believe it's very possible. I just believe it's the kind of mindset that you carry. But I know I'll say for a lot of people, it's hard to see the positives. Like I said, it's hard to see the positive, you know, in the situations that life throws at us. But I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to shift your mindset, to shift your focus. A lot of what you focus on has a lot to do how your mind shapes out, the kind of mindset you carry with you on a daily basis. Your focus, it plays a lot into that because it's that thing that you focusing on. It could be the most minor things that you're focusing on. It could be some grand scheme things that you're focusing on. But how you're focusing on it, the energy that you're putting into it, what you're telling yourself about it, what you're telling yourself or making yourself feel about you in the midst of those things, it has a lot to do with it. And when you begin to shift your focus, there's a saying that, you know, they say when you shift your mind and when you shift your focus, that your entire life changes, your reality changes. And I believe that that's a very true saying. You know, it's something that I practice. It's something that, you know, I have to constantly, you know, make sure that I'm catching myself in. You know, when situations arise, like how I talked about, and not being in control of it, I'm learning how to better maneuver. I'm learning how to better face them. You know, you don't ever want to run away. You don't ever want to run away from problems or situations, because as you run away from those problems and situations, guess what? They keep finding their way back to you. They keep circling around back to you and in your life, because instead of dealing with them, you're running from them, right? And so you want to make sure that you're facing, you know, your problems of focus, your problems of shifting your mindset head on, you know, without avoiding it, without looking for, you know, ways around it, you know, but taking it head on. And like I said, that's something that I'm currently, you know, doing in my life. I don't like to talk about or to teach things or to, you know, to preach things that I don't personally practice. You know, I believe that there is a great effect, a positive effect in sharing your story, even though there could be a negative, you know, in sharing your story, because sometimes people could take your story and they could use it against you or whatever like that. But I like to take the things that I go through, you know, and help feed that to other people, help coach other people, help teach other people, you know, help lead other people with that, because I'm a product of it working. So if it's working for me, why not share it? And it could possibly, you know, work in your favor as well. You know, the Bible calls us to be helpers one to another. We're all out here, you know, just trying to, you know, live life. We're all out here trying to get through, you know, life. And we all have our different struggles. We all have, you know, our different challenges and the things that we're facing and that we're going through. And that's why I chose to talk about, you know, even traffic being a thing that creates patience in people, because I'm still learning how to have patience in so many areas of my life, as I stated. And that's my struggle, you know, that's my current thing that I'm, you know, dealing with, you know. And the thing that I also, you know, see about life, and just bear with me, because I just have a lot, you know, that's flowing in my mind right now. So, you know, I kind of want to just, you know, get it out. So, you know, if it seems like I'm all over the place, it's going to all tie in. But one thing that I know is that when you face one thing in life and you become successful in that area, the thing I love about God is that, because life is always about growing, life is always about being better, getting better, right? Is God presents, okay, you got through this task, here's the next one. You get what I'm saying? And it's not to make you feel like, man, dang, something's always going on. Dang, I'm always dealing with something. No, again, remember, it's how you choose to focus on these things. It's how you choose to, you know, set up your mindset around these things. So I look at it as a great challenge, because these are things that I have to learn to overcome. These are things that I have to, you know, grow at and be better at, because at the end of the day, it's building my character. So right now, my thing may be patience. You know, I can overcome patience, and then I may have to focus on something else. But I want to make sure my mind is right and focusing on that thing. And that's the biggest part of the battle, as I stated, is making sure you have the right mindset, making sure you have the right thoughts. Because whatever it is that you feed yourself, that's what's going to shape your reality. So God can have you in a place in your life where your struggle may be consistency. Your struggle may be lust, or your struggle may be that maybe you're not a great communicator. You know, maybe you don't know how to express yourself. Whatever your struggle may be, you can plug it in, right? And so God will put you in situations to where, like how I stated, you have to face that thing. You got to deal with it, you know, because one thing you don't want to do is go through your life dealing with the same thing year after year, month after month, day after day, time after time. You don't want to constantly find yourself in the same cycle. At some point, you want to make sure, I'm doing what I need to do to break this cycle. I'm doing what I need to do to break these modes and to break these habits and these behavior, traits or patterns that's causing me to stay stagnant, to stay stuck, and to stay complacent, in my life. So you want to make sure that you're overcoming those things, and how you overcome those things is how you look at those things. A lot of times we like to take those, the things that we struggle with, and we like to use those things to make ourselves feel bad, to beat up on ourselves. Man, like I'll just never be great at patience. I'll never be great at that. I'll never be great, or whatever it is, when that's not the reality. That's not the reality, and that's not the case. And that's what we're trying to get away from. That's what we're trying to get you away from. We're trying to get you away from that way of thinking, that mindset. We're trying to get you away, from shaping that to be your focus and everything. And we're trying to get you to pivot. You got to know how to pivot. You got to know when something's not working for you, it's time for change. It's time for something different. They say insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. If I'm constantly complaining, how can I expect life to be good for me? If I'm constantly being impatient, how can I expect to master the art of patience? Think about that. Think about that, as you're going through your journey, as you're dealing with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Think about those things. Think about those things, and let that guide you. Today could be your day, to start breaking those habits, to start breaking those patterns, to start doing that work. You can't be afraid to get into the mode of doing the work. You can't be afraid to start the work. And when you start the work, be sure that you're seeing the work through. Be sure that you're finishing the work. Be sure that every single day you're doing the work that's necessary, that you're not quitting on yourself, that you're not quitting on the process, that you're not giving up on God, that you're not falling into disbelief, that you're not falling into doubt, that you're not falling into fear, that you're not falling into worry and all of these things, but confidently and with faith, take on the challenge and do the work. And I promise you, the more you do the work, the more you shift your mindset, the more you get focused on the right things. The Bible, there's a verse in the Bible that says, think on those things which are pure, which are holy, which are righteous, that which is of a good report. When you start to do that, you're going to see a completely different outcome in your life. So like I said, do the work, show up, challenge yourself, shift your focus. Take on a new mindset. Don't be afraid to take on a new mindset. Don't be afraid to think differently. Challenge yourself. Say, hey, I've been thinking like this, for a while. I've been thinking negatively for a while. Let me see what life is like to think positively. Let me see what life is like on the other side of this. And I promise you that you're going to love it. Because like I said, for me, it's a daily progression. It's something that I'm actively doing. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you nothing that I'm not doing. I'm not going to tell you nothing that I don't see working. Like I tell people even all the time when it comes to my relationship with Christ, I'm not here to force anything on you. I can just tell you what works for me. And for me, loving Jesus Christ, believing in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, it works for me. It works for me. So I'm never one that's just going to tell you something just because it sounds good or to feed, your ego or whatever the case may be. No, I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm from Detroit. That's all I know how to do. You know what I mean? I'm just straightforward. You get what I'm saying? And I done lived in a lot of places. From Detroit, I done probably lived in some of the places that I would consider like where people are like straightforward and blunt. And like I've lived in Detroit, New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and now here in Georgia. You get what I'm saying? I've lived in Cali for a little bit, but in a lot of places that I lived, one thing I noticed that was constant, people were blunt. People were bold. They were not afraid to tell you how it is. So I come up in that. You get what I'm saying? But I also know how to have that empathy. I know how to have that compassion, and I know how to let you know, hey, you're doing a great job. Keep up what it is that you're doing. All you got to do is just tweak it a little. All you got to do is just try a different way. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, again, don't beat up on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, but give yourself some grace and some mercy. But God bless y'all, man. God keep y'all covered, y'all. I appreciate y'all being with me in this traffic. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my ride home, and I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna talk to God, and I'm gonna keep y'all in my prayers. Y'all keep me in y'all prayers, but God bless y'all. Hey, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with everybody that you know. Let them know, come on over here, link with Pastor D, because it's time to be encouraged, get inspired, and stay uplifted. God bless. Yurt.
Wisdom is for free, but yet it's overpriced. And I never seen success happen overnight.